Hello, Nova Starcraft here, and as you can see me, as you can see me moving the camera around and stuff. I'm not actually playing. This is a replay. I'm casting one of my own games. How shocking! And the only reason I'm doing that is because I did do it in first person. So I did do a video of me playing this game, but this is my common problem. I set the volume up too loud, and you can't hear me. It's just mumbling, and it's bad. And yeah, so I thought I'd cast it myself with a good volume of voice. Yeah, that made sense. Because this was like a decent game, so just wanted to show that to everyone. So I don't do my normal build. So I'm actually scouting much earlier than I normally do if I did my normal build. My normal build is obviously more economic. But this one is a very gas heavy one, and I'm going to be doing an Oracle type Jazz. But not the proxy Oracle. I'm just going to put it in my base. I'm going to proxy it in my base near the side, so that it's like 5 centimeters closer to my opponent's base. But still, I don't want to give up a Stargate for anything. Okay. Well, my intent was to Zek to air it eventually, but I might forget that. Spoilers, not a spoiler at all. Anyway, so you saw me poke up the ramp just to check if he. I just need to check if he's taking a gas or not, but he'd wallen off. He's walled off, so that usually means bad things when they wall off. So I'm just going to check in. I'm going to sacrifice my probe, as you can see on the mini map in the left. I'm about to sacrifice my probe just to check if he's expanded or not. If I see an expansion, I'm going to have to shit myself and do things, get the defensive stuff. But no. So I'm happy not making many units. I'm just going to make my oracles nice and just as I was intending. So I'm about to plant down my Stargate where I put that pylon in the left hand side of my base, and it'll make it so that hopefully it won't be scouted quite as fast as well as it being slightly closer to my opponent's base, which is a plus. So yeah, some secondary scouting with my Stalker. So the bunker's obviously going to be done, but I'll just poke up there and see how many units he has. Not too many, so I'm not too worried at all. And then I'm just going to be making them oracles and expanding, because I know that he has an expansion and I'm not afraid of anything. And the good thing about going oracles instead of going for other like harassment techniques that you could do in Wings of Liberty is that oracles are very good at defending against marines, whereas things like Phoenix, they're not so good at defending against marines really. So if worst comes to worst, and he does push out of marines, even though he's taken that expansion, and he didn't seem to have that many units, he might have been hiding them, for example. Then I will have oracles to defend myself, as well as maybe one Stalker. So I see that SCV, and I took that the watchtower on the left, so that he didn't have it and he didn't spot my oracles coming over. But now I realise, he's probably just going to spot the Stargate, which is even worse. So I'll bring the Stalker back. Luckily he doesn't scout the Stargate, so that little mistake by me wouldn't bite me in the bum. So I'm going to need some extra gateways. I'm not very refined with this build. I don't think I've ever done this build. I think it was the first time I've ever done this build. So I didn't know when to get my gateways. I knew I needed them about now, but I didn't have any money, so I just thought, oh, whatever. So I get the Robo in case he's going mines. Robo's like absolutely vital now. You don't need it. You don't need to rush for the Robo when you're getting oracles, because you can use the detection on the oracle, but that's not a very good use of energy. So you do need the Robo eventually. So I'm going to come in, and I'll get a few workers. Nice hold position there, so that they don't chase and don't run into marines. I got a good few kills. I'll just have a little check. I used that killed 9. I like that function. That's fun. 9, 10, 11, 11, 11, 12. Get out of there. 12. I only lost one oracle. That's not too bad. I've got another oracle coming on the left hand side. There's that third oracle. which I queued up. So I'm going to get some more gas. Get some more gas. So I'm adding on a pylon. So that's where I'm going to build all my gateways, which I should have done a little while ago. So I should be up to 4 gateways by now, in case he pushes out. So that's a mistake by me. But I was having too much fun with the oracles, to be honest. So I'm coming out from the back, pushing all the different angles to avoid the missile turrets, and lose that one. I've only got one left. So I'm going to leave that guy down that third oracle there for a while, and maybe go in when he's not expecting it. So I'm getting those observers in case he gets mines and stuff, but I didn't consider that likely. So now I'm getting my gateways a bit too late, so I get all of them in one go. So that looked like I was playing badly, but that's not too bad really. I've just delayed them a lot. Yeah, so I made that nice little formation. So I'm just making as good a use of the space as I am. So bunching them together between lots of pylons. And a good transition after oracles made sense to go straight for the Colossus, because he's making marines to deal with oracles, and Colossus are very good versus marines. That's good. So I'd usually go for High Templar, and I might prefer the High Templar. But oh dear. Oh, that was close. Oh no, what am I doing? Oh, that was a mistake. I think I thought he was gonna assume that I'd go out and then move the marines away. That was very cheeky by me, and that didn't pay off. Yeah, what was I saying? Yes, Colossus, good against marines, which they build to defeat the oracles, and now he's pushing out, and I'm sad. But I did get the gateways just in time. That was as late as I could possibly build those 6 gateways there to defend that push. So I have a habit of building just enough to defend myself, which is good. So I have the mothership core. I built that a bit late, so it should have more energy than it actually does. So that was a mistake again. I'm a bit critical of myself, to be fair. So I'm gonna hold on here. Oh, and I need to. Yeah, accidentally moved the sentry instead of the Colossus back there. Not a very good engagement by me, and I feel like I've lost here. But I just try to carry on here anyway. So I chrono boost the Colossus out, and then I'm not used to using Colossus this early in the game, and I've forgotten how good they are, and they just clean up small armies like that very quickly. So I held on by the skin of my teeth there. I just want to check randomly. Yeah, so those oracles killed about 19, about maybe 17, because I think I killed a couple scout SCVs. So I don't know if the oracles paid off. I look at the units lost tab, and I am behind, but that might be because of that terrible engagement there, so I'm not sure. So my opponent is adding on Vikings, as you'd expect after scouting Colossus. I'm not going to make too many Colossus. My maximum is 3 at any one time. I think that's like the most in Process versus Terran, because if you get too many, Vikings just cancel them ridiculously hard, and they can get sniped quite easily anyway, so you don't want to rely on the Colossus too much, though they are very useful in small numbers. So now I want to be teching up to High Templar, ideally, and with that observer I've placed outside my opponent's base on the top hat, and the just below my opponent's base on the mini-map. I want to have that scouting for thirds, but I'm not. I don't know why. I think I assumed I'd already put it on patrol. Oh, now I'm doing it. There we go. So now I want to really snipe those Vikings so that my Colossus can do a maximum damage. So I'm just little positioning game here, keeping the Colossus to the back, trying to lure the. I tried to lure the Vikings forward at one point so I could snipe them, but it didn't work. So now I'm taking up to High Templar, which is very important. I want to be think about taking up 4th now, as well. I need to check that if he hasn't got a 4th, so I'm sure that. Oh, not good, not good. notice that Colossus is taking all the damage from those Vikings, which isn't ideal. But I really wanted to just clean up the bio above anything else, because the Vikings aren't that much of a threat to your work as the bio is, so I didn't want to lose too much economy. Just out of curiosity, I'm interested. I have a slight probe leave. Well, it's quite a good one, I guess. It's 10. I have a 10 probe leaves at the moment. Not too bad. So I'm adding on more Colossus, which seems weird because I know he has Vikings. But I do like, even though he does have Vikings, as long as it's not like 25 Vikings, I like to have maybe 1 or 2, just in case, because the Colossus can put in work, especially when sometimes they do have their Vikings at a position every now and then. But yeah, I'm relying on the High Templar more than the Colossus, because I know the Colossus is going to die. So I'm trying to wall off here, so that bio can't just run in like it is right now. I try to wall off positions like this, even though it doesn't seem like a good idea against Terran, because they have ranged units. But I try to wall off anyway, just so that they can't run in and snipe. And so this is like a little, that was like a little skirmish there. I'm not handling that very well. And like Foster, I shouldn't be losing these Colossus. And I was about to lose another one, I'm too busy warping things in. Oh man, just, I can't. Oh, that's a nice storm. That was good. I think I've almost lost. And Archon morphs in and just barely keeps me alive. So I know I'm down on bases. He's starting a 4th. But luckily my 4th is coming, which I cheekily expanded up there. Which is sort of a bit of, I don't know if that could be classed as macro cheese, but I don't know. He could have ran in and sniped that one. But if he had gone to snipe that 4th that was building there, I probably would have had enough army to defend that push. I would have had those storms kicking him. So now I definitely need to keep my upgrades coming. I definitely need to invest in high tier units, because I think I'm a little bit behind now. I'll have a little check. Yes, yeah. So now he's taking the lead because he's got that base up and running. Kind of boosting my upgrades. I don't have many low tier units in my army at the moment. It's just High Templar, Colossus, Archon. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So if I was playing my normal style again, as I like to keep referring to, I'd have my Colossus keep making my Robo making lots and lots of observers. So I have observers all over the map, checking all the escape paths. But I only have just a couple on the map at the moment, so I have to make do with them. So I don't see these pushes here. So I probably should have added on a second Robo. So it's not an awful engagement here. Those storms were very nice. But I had just wanted the High Templar in to die, but luckily they didn't all get sniped. They didn't have energy though, so that could have gone better for me. But I have Blink, killed the retreating Vikings, and my numbers did overwhelm there. So if I'd have won that more decisively, so if I'd have paid more attention while I was microing, I think I could have gone for counter attack there if I maybe kept the Colossus alive. But instead, I'm happy taking a 5th, which is pretty good. So that observer at my opponent's 4th, that should be checking for 4 bases, so that I know I'm ahead. Check the units now, and he's still ahead in workers. But I think I'm ahead in tech. Is there an I'll check for an upgrades tab. Oh no, that's doing it. So yeah, we're about even in upgrades as well, so that's pretty interesting. I desperately want to keep this 4th, because that's going to give me the edge. It's going to allow me to catch up in workers. And he didn't kill that probe, which is very lucky for that probe. Luckiest probe ever. Okay. So yeah, I definitely need more observers on the left hand side, because he could be counter-attacking now. And I think I might be doing that. Just about to do that. So I've stopped producing Colossus, and now I've switched to making observers. I think that's No, I'm making more Colossus. Can't remember. I played this yesterday and I can't remember it. So I'm adding a Dark Shrine. So when I get up to 4 on my bases, I definitely it's always worth adding a Dark Shrine. It's not that expensive anymore. Because, yeah, a Dark Shrine is useful if only to build Archons and save gas. So a DC material Archon costs less gas than a High Templar material Archon, so they're more useful in the late game. And also I just like to have DTs to scout. They're just observers which kill things. That's why I'm interested in the units. We have loads and loads of workers. We both have tons of them. I'm up to 90 probes. That's more probes than you really should have, I think. But I like having huge numbers of probes because I can remax very quickly. I have huge numbers of gateways in Protoss versus Terrans. And I really should be adding more on. I don't know if I have that much at the moment. So I should be going up to about 15, 20 gateways. And I have this many bases. That's a nice concave for me. Yeah, storm my own stuff a lot though, that's not good. Good storms good EMPs by him. Shouldn't have pumped my Templar up there. And I waited for a warp in to warp in some DTs, and they're going to help me push back the army and give my Archons time to morph in. And I've successfully pushed back that attack even though I didn't have any High Templar in that army with storms. And he's got a base coming in here. Not happy about that at all. In the Terran's position, I'd much rather expand in the bottom left if I were him. But he's really insistent about taking that base right next to mine. And I could retake those watchtowers as well. I'd quite get around to doing that. So I'm still keeping the upgrades coming. You can notice I'm on almost finished +2 shields. So I always have a 3-3-3 death army. And again, not used to playing the style, I could also be adding on air tech, so I could be going to Tempests now. Because I already have the Stargate done, so that wouldn't be too much of an investment. I do like Tempest against Terran because they rarely die in the battle. You can usually get them away safely, even though Marines have stim and such. So if you use them right, they can pay off quite nicely. So I spot the Vikings and they give away my opponent's army's presence. But I'm going to ignore it for now, warp in some units back at home. I want to clear up that attack, trying to deny my what's that, 6th base. And I'm going to pull back. And I think my opponent's I like my opponent's style. He's got the Hellbats in there, which is nice. I do like using Hellbats. I think it's really good addition to the game army. And because Terran is bullshit sometimes, you can just he sniped my 3rd. He just ran in there and sniped it, and then got out of there safely. Which I guess Protoss can do now with the recall. So I guess I can't complain that much. So I'm working on my +3 shields. I've got lots of observers now, which I normally do ages ago. I got those observers, just to check for likely attack paths. And he is not having that base, so I've made it my mission to not let him have that base. He's taking this position, which is definitely the right choice to be taking. So I need observers all over the place, in case he cloaks his ghosts. There we go. So I'm spending all my micros being used in spreading out my units, and doing a little bit of pointless blinking there, which didn't really do much damage, have much effect. But the Archons morph in and they change the battle quite significantly. So I know I'm going to lose here, and he can stim and chase after me, so I just want to focus down the odd extra unit. Usually in that situation I try and kill the odd medevac because they're gas heavy. Oh, did I mention this was a long game? This is quite long. So again, I'm adding on my high tier units, and I'm going to lose that base again. It's a big battle for that top base. But I don't want to lose my third again, because that's important. Blink coming in useful. Take out an extra few medivacs, and the cannons helping me clear that up as well. So now I'm adding my gates. These should have gone down a while ago. So how many gates am I on? Structures. Is there one for structures? Is it like Control S, Shift S? So I lost that base. Structures, gateways. Where are my gateways? Only 9. That's terrible. Okay, I should have way more than that. And I have. That's why I've added on about 5 or 6. Yeah, I'm adding on 5. Oh, I disabled the sound because I'm clever. So this is a nice engagement for me. Some storms coming in. Really want us to kill off all those medivacs there. Very good. Very good storms. But that still wasn't enough. I think I got overconfident there. Wanted to kill as many medivacs as possible. I ended up losing my army. So that was almost a perfect engagement. Like, I overcommitted a bit much, and marauders are good, obviously. So more of those. DT's coming to help me defend that base. Even if I lose this, I'm not that far behind because he's only on 4 bases as well. But it is important because I obviously want to be ahead. And I misrally a huge clump of Colossus there because he hasn't seen Colossus out of me for so long. He hasn't got any Vikings, so this huge clump is going to make a huge difference. So yeah, macroing, yeah. This late into a game, it seems like I'm forgetting things quite a lot. Retaking that base because I desperately want that. Not sure why really. I guess there's not much other bases to take. And without Vikings, those Colossus are tearing shit up, and he's gonna have to. And I accidentally put a gateway in my accidentally put a gateway in my control group, so I just randomly shoot to my main mid battle. So that was a bit of a fail, and I lose all those classes, but I think they paid for themselves. Interested in how many workers? So I have a huge worker lead now by 20. Surprisingly, units lost are quite even, but I'm slightly ahead in that. I think I've had more bases than him. I've mined more than him, so that would make sense. So I don't think I'm that far ahead. I definitely don't have a very big army, though I do have very good upgrades. I'll show you here. 333, that's good. So I'm running out of minerals now. This has gone on so long. Sent some Dark Templar to my opponent's base. Just want to keep that one down. Got to keep him on 4. Now that I've denied that, now I'm definitely ahead because I have that extra base, and my army's now looking quite good as well because I've added on all those gateways. I can keep up with my income, and I've got my 2 robos going as well. Oh yes, I remember that's why I misrallied, because I added an extra robo one. I misclicked as well. And yeah. Desperately trying to get some storms on, but I can never catch up, so I just feed back the medivacs. Bump up my army again. Focusing down the medivacs. They're more valuable than the other units, and they're very weak as well because of the feedbacks and the splash damage which is dealt to them. And I don't know, this could be the turning point because I've denied that base so much on the bottom. Very close game. It's got very weak medivacs. If I were him, I'd drop mules to repair those. But I'm bad when I play Terran, so that's definitely the wrong choice. You could just use SCVs. So I'm setting up, trying to set up that base one more time. I sent those DCs that were sent to harass back home so that he wouldn't just go kill them, and now I'm just sending them in again. But he's already taken that base. Within about 5 seconds of that engagement happening, he's taken that base back again. So I'm going to have to try and kill that. and I'm going to deny some muling. I'm going to try attack again. And when you push out with like this, you want to warp in some High Templar so that they have Storm ready for the next push. But I don't give a shit at the moment, so I'm not doing that. And I have some opportunities to storm some workers. How many workers have died? 68, 69. 30 for me though as well. Not 30, almost 40. And that's the game. So yeah, that was quite a good game. It was started off with the oracles, obviously. They didn't pay off too much, but it transitioned me into the mid game. I took a lot of beating from the mid game from his harassment and his pushes down here. Push, that was killed about 3 times, some bad engagements here. So yeah, very good, very close game, very good. It all rested on this base, saving me pretty much. So yes, hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, see you later.